All right. Hey, what's going on? Back with another one. Back with another one. This is the Daily Dump Hump, the 25th edition. The 25th edition. The 25th edition. 25th edition. Okay. Okay. Now it's working. Okay. Let's see what we got here. It's a lot going on, lot going on, lot going on. Shouts out to APTV cooking them dudes, man. The Simp podcaster and Canty. It's crazy that these dudes still talk about these females and they ain't got no leg to stand on their own. I showed you the so-called red pill space, man, that loses, bro. Like they're really not red pill, they're blue pilled as hell. And this is why people be stealing this shit because they laugh at these suckers, man. And it's no shot at anybody. It's just the mindset of these dudes still have. Like this has not changed since 2021. Like motherfuckers act like they got the truth, but they really don't. Like it's really sad in so many words. Like you're really hurting yourself at the end of the day. And I'm just keeping it real. Like I'm trying to get my character on the wraps and appreciate what's going on. But it's been a lot. The basketball's been jumping. The basketball's been jumping. Like I've been watching Tick and everybody. They clowning about LeBron using drugs in his system, like the roids. Let's call it what it is, EPO. I don't care if it's fancy for this and this, but in reality, they say he's protected. Well, the reason he's protected is kind of like NBL. Like baseball went down so many years after the steroid usage. Same with this guy. Like I said, he came to well, he's done anyway. How do you say, like he's done? Okay, he's in the tail end of his career, and they might take those points away. That's just my viewpoint of it. But if they don't, that just goes to show you that they let a Hall of Famer from the Red Sox that used to hit for him in the Hall of Fame, they caught dirty. Think about it. But shouts out to Too Raw for TV for saying that. And you can look that up on his channel. He mentioned that, and there's some proof to that. A lot of people try to say, "Hey, no proof to that." Yeah, it is. You better look that shit up. That shit wild, boy. That shit wild. Y'all trying to act like that ain't no proof. Y'all out your mind, boy. Y'all out your mind. Yeah. So, yeah, it's a lot to talk about. APTV was talking bad about old boys, and oh, salute in the chat. But yeah, these dudes they be talking about the same old stuff all the time. I've been looking at some basic content. I've been looking at other content too on YouTube and keeping up with the sports, what's going on in the sports world and things like that. I've been busy myself. But it's a lot going on, but everybody's tripping on both sides. But fellas, the females don't care, man. Like I looked at Wall's production. He be clowning these dudes that do the cars, trying to say everybody's a gold digger, and nah, they just you got average women trying to be ones, and they try to go according to the content they think is real. It's just like entertainment. And then I just saw this AQ guy. He showed Myron going at DDG's girl, right? Both of their girls ain't all that are mid, but both of them are trash anyway. I don't know why people listen to them. DDG's nothing but a comment simp. Like he's the first simp that started this vlogging shit. back in 2017. If you want to go further back on YouTube, I've been on YouTube for years and I've seen his content. His content's kind of trash. Him and McQueen and all them, right? See, they tried to challenge Soul Illuminati back then in basketball. That backfired, and he got popular around that time too. And he started the reaction shit and got it to 1 million the next year because I was subscribed in when he had 350 something subscribers at the time. But he always make 2K references where he talks about people, but it's funny as hell. And then him and Flight, all them guys, that reactionary period that goes back to 2015. But when you talk about that period, it was a great period of the time that YouTube was at a standstill. But you understand that's the name of the game. Like if you want to do content, that was the content that you did. See, relationship content was always on the back burner. It was trash and nobody really liked it until you could say the pandemic. Prior to the pandemic, nobody was talking like this. You got to understand. Yeah, it was BS going on. Yeah, people's relationships was getting tarnished and everything. But these dudes in the sphere, they always talked about divorces and never took no action against these females that they claim they love, but they really love hoes. Deep down, it's always about sexual gratification. It's always been about the box. It's never been about what's going to the table, what brings to it. No, it's about the box. That's their problem. That's 95% of these dudes that think like that. I'm just gonna let y'all know now that if y'all new to this channel or not, that's what it's always been about, and it's been about they mission to do. That's all they talk about. And if you look at dude's podcast that I helped build this channel when he had 3,000, me and Platinum helped build this channel during the pandemic. And I told him to get into the podcast. That was my idea. Yeah, that's my little false creation. But look at him now, talking about the same old bullshit. Anybody feeling him like that? And we made his content entertaining during the pandemic. He was getting a lot of views there and there. Remember his rooms was filled and all that. It was good times. But you had suck ass simps in his chat rooms, don't know anything about life, want to interrupt and act all bitch made. And they were soft. I ain't gonna name them names, but I know who they are. You know, it's just but he had randoms I didn't like either that were bots. So that's the type of channel that y'all like, and I get it, you know. But I don't mess with that channel no more. I just entertain it time to time, see what he's talking about. And I just glance and dip. That's what I did, you know. Like people ask me what happened to me, they ain't nothing happened to me. It's happened with that nigga. That nigga went the other way, flaked out like everybody else. He's just like everybody else, like the rest of these niggas. I treat him as a fiddle. Yeah, I trolled for those years, but those years I was studying what he was about. See, y'all don't study people. That's what I do on these platforms. I study people, who they are and how they get their audiences and things like that. And then you see right through them how full of shit that they are. See, they can't tell you who they really are because they're frauds in real life. Other people know about them more than I can. I'm not the one that talk bad about them. Look at this bitch right here. Always gonna call somebody a narcissist. This is a hoe right here. Hate a man who act like he's such a good and shut your hoe ass up. Always going and y'all the main ones, but y'all love these narcissistic men, don't you? That's in these so-called red pill spaces, and they fall for the mask. Y'all love them. It's the type of guys y'all pick. These hoes kill me on. See, this is why I don't like X. A lot of them say this shit. These dudes act the same way too in these spaces. They're all the same. That's why I say fuck both of them, to be honest with you. And fuck this tweet. Shouts out the person that reposted it. This tweet is whack. She's talking about her damn self. That's what she likes and attracting dudes laughing all the time. Exactly. Here's a comment. Here's a comment on this post. He said, "Pro tip: if you want a good man, stop talking and acting like a hood rat." Thank you. And that's the main reason why I can't stand them. They love hoes too, and they both of them are narcissists and they ain't shit. That's why Trump is punking y'all asses right now. He's the very same thing that y'all voted for, and this is why people don't like this country. I'm showing you what a narcissist is. It's people like y'all think y'all better than everybody else. I'm not a narc. It's not in my blood. It's not in my nature. I'm not built like that. I'm an asshole in some aspects, but I don't have to show it. I know I am to certain people, but I am nice when I want to be. I'm very selective. I said this many times about what 4 years ago, and prior. I've always been a selective person because I used to thought everybody was okay-ish and all this, and but I didn't realize I had to find myself when I was younger, and I've taken pride to know who I am, and I figured that out what I was, and I accepted it. Am I perfect? Hell no. I strive to be better every day, but these people online are pathetic. They the main narcs on here. They'll admit they problems. I have problems too, but I don't have to share that for the world, the internet, to be accepted. You got some sucker ass people on here, man. It's just pathetic, especially on these platforms. But it must be really painful for you folks who discover self-preservation late, then get mad at who runs and even as dangerous as they are, going about agreeing with all ain't perfect, but yells some folks have it under control public. Oh, your comment didn't make no damn sense. You just as bad as that person posted. Oh, here we go with this bullshit. Bunch of bullshit comments. But that one comment I like, start acting like a hood rat. They don't want to hear that. Yeah, go to a therapist, man. The pot called the kettle black. Yeah. But that goes both ways too. You know what I'm saying? But they the main ones. But it's not shot at the men and the women. It's males and females that act like this. Y'all are not considered men and women in my opinion. Y'all just male and female. Y'all trash, y'all dogs. That's why these content creators are so trash. I'm dissing them that think like this, and then you got people posting dumb shit on X. You cannot take nobody's X account seriously. They're a bunch of morons. They're too busy worrying about the wrong shit, and then they wonder why people just leave them. And then these so-called manosphere spaces, like I'll never forget, the manosphere focus on the ideology of feminism and things like that. It focused on real shit. It focused on attacking the people that control the system. But these dudes are cowards, though. Like the ones in 2.0 spaces, they're cowards. They have no solutions, just like KS and all them, bunch of bitch ass little boys. And that's why I treat them as such. They don't get the love and respect over here because this ain't their platform. This ain't their mountaintop. See, I don't fuck with dudes that cry about pussy all day. That's the problem, and that right there is a red flag. You got to look at these dudes as clowns. And what they do is they get online and blame everybody else but themselves. Sometimes you got to blame yourself for allowing that to happen. Then you have to take self-reflection. Like, see, what I did, I dated this person that I dated years ago. I didn't realize she was a hoe, but she was damaged goods. But I know one thing: codependent P is not good for you, fellas. I mean, it's dangerous. And she was one of them, and I couldn't trust her a lick. And I was smart what I did. If I would have married that, y'all, I would be like these dudes on here crying about the same old shit. But me personally, I was smart enough to know not to deal with that. That's a great investment in my book. And I did this when I just turned 21 that same year. I ain't gonna give you the year, but y'all know what I mean. But she looked like Lynn Whitfield in the face, light skin, right? But she was from Atlanta, But she was damaged goods, and I tried my best to keep it that way. But the thing is about these dudes, man, they cry about so much shit. I don't pay attention to their weak ass content, but shouts out APTV confirming that these dudes still talking about the same old shit, and that's just them. They're not going to stop, bro. They're just dumb like that. It's a lot of people like that on the internet, and I watch everybody on YouTube that be on that bullshit, and that's all they talk about. They ain't got no substance of their content, and that's why people's on to them like that. That's why Kendra G is the new Cynthia G. She could talk everything bad about the fellas, but she's nothing but a hoe herself, a thing, an insignificant so-called woman. But she's not even a woman. She's a female. She's a dog. She's start barking, getting mad at you and shit. Now I ain't even your owner. I don't own you. Nobody wants your butt. So you need you need to go to the kennel and lay your ass out. I know I sound a little disrespectful right there, but she's a clown. She be disrespecting us for years and then try to steal KS's flow. Ain't nobody listening to that shit. Where I'll tell her this. Where was this? We was on that radio show in Chicago. See, Corey destroyed her. Don't get me started with her. She dated a scammer. That's why I don't take her show serious. It is a clown show. Shouts out to MABW breaking it down. And that's why a lot of dudes are red pill in some aspect. Yeah, if you're red pill and you know the truth, it's bigger than relationships. That's a small piece of it. The big piece is the system. That's real red pill. And then you understand, stop dealing with people because they're going to drown you all the time. That's a distraction. Always remember, females are distraction. The prize is to eliminate the system. And that's basically what I'm telling people to do. You know what I mean? And that's just it, you know. Let me step away real quick. I'll be right back. Yeah, man. They get on these platforms and they talk about the same old stuff. And that's why I stay away from them, man. Like these guys, they're just not moving. They're not elevating who they are. But you know, one thing I can say about them is I learn a lot from their little habits, what they used to do, and then I just studied. I said, man, these guys just desperate for some attention. And then anytime when a female gets on the panel, they just get geeked up and all this stuff. It's kind of funny during the pandemic because everybody was isolated and they was finished. They was all distracted by the one thing, and they did a good job. The government did a great job destroying the fabric of these dudes, man. And then, you know, it's a big reset. The reset was real, but it was reset of what? Relationships, marriage, and everything. Everybody done quit on each other. So yeah, the men quit on early. Even when oh boy Trump got in office, right? Life still hasn't changed for them. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing we see now. It is no different what your situation is. And I just tell it like it is. Like a lot of these dudes are fake on here, man. Like you gotta understand who's who out here and who's not. And I just treat this thing accordingly. And that's just how I look at it, you know, in so many words. But that's how I look at it now. So, but you know, one thing I can say to myself is I never stoop to that low, just talk bad about my content, you know, because okay, if the females, you know, which is y'all say they're women, really they're so-called women because real women won't be online looking for no man or anything. None of them really. But you got a lot of dogs. Y'all love hoes, man. They desperate out here. But there's a reason why they're desperate. I think guys complain a lot, love these type chicks, and they're gonna continue to do the same thing. They have not changed. They're gonna remain the same all the time. If you look online, everybody's trying to date each other on these apps. They're not dating apps to me. They're just apps that you can do for business networking and whatever you're supposed to do right. But if you a type of person that loves nonsense, then you're going to get the same attract nonsense all the time. But that's what they are. And that's why these hoes are so entitled that y'all made entitled. And that's why a lot of you dudes are entitled to think y'all own the world, but y'all don't. It's the same shit over and over again. But you got to look how sorry people are. Most people ain't shit, man. They just get on here and they just talk all a bunch of nonsense. Oh, the women ain't this, the women ain't this, like that, and then call everybody a woman. Everybody's not really a woman because the real woman wouldn't have time to be on panels, making podcasts, weak ass statements, looking busted and funky on camera. You're gonna get tired of that shit after a while. The older you get, you're not gonna be able to do the shit that you normally do. And stuff you say, like you're supposed to help the youth to understand this is the type of stuff you don't deal with. You don't deal with people that's weak. Weak people don't get no respect. And that's the problem. It just goes to show you that people are going to say what they're going to say. And what I learned over the years, like when you're doing content and you talk about female content, that shit gets stale after a while. I mean, it's cool for entertainment, for shits and giggles, but you know what that gets people? They become irrelevant over time. So you gotta have a diversified topics like me. See, I talk about various things. Yes, these things out here acting crazy, but there's a reason why. I believe they're programmed by the system, and there's no way you can change a female's mindset. I agree with that. That's not a woman. Like they say, you can't change a woman's mindset. Yeah, you can. You just gotta learn how to communicate better and not care. And if she don't take the advice, the hell with her. And then she gonna look stupid at the end. See, she wasn't a real woman in the first place. That's how you weed them out. You know who's who. And the reason why they play you simp little boys in the so-called red pill space, because 95% of y'all are simps. What's going on, Leonard? Salute. And they're simps. And what they do is they lead with their wallet. They lead with their wallet all the time. You don't need money to take these broads out, especially the ones that are out here doing it. It's no need. Because the more you do that, let me tell you the power you call them a woman. The more you call them women, I'm tell you a secret. See, it's just like a boy. Like you calling him a man, he's not a man. He's a somewhat of a man. They love a lot of boys, like you know what I mean. I don't use the word pookie because pookie etymology to me means lame. I don't use that term because lame and another name you call lame is pookie. I don't even like that term because that's a boomer term they created from a book. And shouts out to the brothers that mentioned that to me, and then it came from a boomer, and it makes sense because I know why my mom called my cousin that nickname, and it makes sense why they said it back then. I don't know what it really meant back then in their time, but it means some lame shit. It means you're lame. But if you watch First Time Felon, you understand why. It's very sad, very sad. But you got to look at the big picture and stop tripping about little shit. I just don't understand that people get caught up on nonsense. But I understand that you can't make a boy, he has to go through manhood a certain way. So you can't call him a man. He's really acting like a little boy out here. He can look like a man, but he acts like a little boy. He doesn't want responsibility for his actions. Same with the female. You can't call her a real woman because a woman has more responsibility. The thing is, she don't open her legs to nobody. She's very guarded and isolated. And now, unless she was abused, that's a different story. Respect the ones that are abused. I I wish them in prayer. Salute to them. And this is not for y'all. Don't listen, but I'm just want y'all to know these fellas keep calling the ones that we talking about. We're not talking about y'all. Y'all ladies that's damaged, and then you got the ones that's not damaged are women. And they don't be on these platforms. Stay out. And if my advice to you ladies, if you are listening, do not go on these dudes' platforms. They're simps. They don't like you. They just want attention. They just all they want is the sexual gratification, and they want, the box. I'm just gonna say it. That's what they really want. It has nothing to do with relationships or solutions. That's all they want. Until that, y'all want to sound like a hood thing. Y'all in between, y'all ain't really like that. But then you got a lot of them that are that. They're the worst ones. This is no love for y'all either. Y'all, I don't call y'all women. No, y'all females, y'all dogs, y'all be bar, y'all be, you know what I'm saying? Like these dudes be barking for attention too. And this is why I don't really take these people serious, man. Like, stop giving them too much power. If you give them too much power, that means they have something ruled over you. You're giving them way too much power. And the more power you give them, the more confident they'll be. So that's the thing, fellas. You got to understand that they're going to do what they're going to do. Don't expect no changes. I just don't like the fact that people get upset and then they just talk about random shit. It's a lot of clowns out here, man. It's a lot of clowns out here. Yeah, the NBA is on fire right now. You know, people talking about LeBron and when he's going to come back, come out. Like, LeBron's going to be LeBron, bro. They said they already know this pattern already. Yeah, I know too. But Detroit, Miami, it's going to be the games. And it's just what it is, you know. Okay, who's playing tonight? TNT's off air? Shit. That's crazy. ESPN, is there a doubleheader at ESPN? I don't see if it's a doubleheader because I know Detroit and Miami play. They play tomorrow. Just looking at what's going on here. Okay, Denver and LA. Yeah, I'll catch that. And then NBA TV got Friday. Oh, they got the Friday games. Okay. Oh, they got the Friday game. Okay. Okay. So they got the Friday game. Okay. TNT must be on vacation. That thing look real. So ESPN's the playoffs are soon to be here. You know, less than the standings and all that. But you know, everybody's talking about the teams like they, you know, I don't care for ESPN, but I study what they be saying, and then and it's kind of crazy what you're seeing right now. Now I know a lot of teams are in it. You know, they expect Cleveland going to. You know, Donovan Mitchell reminds me what he did in Utah. They had some good teams when they had Quinn Snyder and all that. He got bounced out in the first round or the second round. He couldn't even go further. That's why I don't trust the Cavaliers go further because the last year the Pacers went to the Eastern Conference Finals when they were the sixth seed. Now they're the fourth seed. So all I gotta say is Boston in the East, they got it. Milwaukee's okay, but they ain't really the best. But you know, Detroit's right behind them, and then you got Atlanta. See, Detroit will play what the Knicks. If Detroit beat the Knicks in the first round, that says something because now they got to play Boston. Here's the thing: Detroit and Boston. Detroit's the sixth seed, Boston's the second seed. Celtics are tough, ain't they? But you know, Detroit's a good team, but we'll see. They're in the playoffs, but they want to be in the fifth spot with Indiana. So yeah, man. If Detroit keeps winning games, you know, if the Bucks are slipping, me personally, I want the Pistons to be in fifth place. I don't care for the Bucks. I don't think they have the shot, man. They just a lot of people say, oh, they could beat the Celtics. No, they can't because Celtics number two. They're gonna play the the seventh seed. They're gonna play the seventh seed, the Hawks. The eighth seed's the Magic. So the Magic's in the playoffs. They're in the play-in. They're all in the play-in except for Detroit. Detroit don't want to be in the play-in. Detroit's going to be in the playoffs. They're the sixth seed. So if Detroit keeps winning games, they'll be the sixth seed or a fifth seed or one. But Indiana's going to remain fourth or third. But the Knicks are still hanging on to the third seed. So it may be the Knicks and the Pistons. If the playoffs start there, it's going to be the Knicks and the Pistons. Me personally, the Knicks team from last year was better than the one this year. And a lot of people said they won the trade. No, they did not. They lost that trade. Like I told you, Minnesota won that trade. Long term. Short term, yes. Long term, no. They lost that. And Tom Thibodeau won't be there in the next couple of years if they don't win a championship. That's a championship move. Why they traded for Anthony Towns. Same with the Anthony Davis with Dallas, and Dallas is hurt. Uh, and Kyrie, that was the championship move. That was the whole point of moving Luka Doncic, and Luka Doncic was a somewhat of a fit for LA. But it's crazy, man. But the Bulls are out of it. Everybody was in tank mode. Wizards are sorry. They gonna try to get Cooper Flag. I don't know who gonna get him. And March Madness is up right now. Now OKC, yeah, the Thunder looking decent, but the Lakers in fourth. I'm not surprised they've losing some games with LeBron and all that. The Lakers, all that second seed shit was a bunch of bullshit. That was a distraction. But now they're dropping the fourth seed. Like I said, and the Nuggets and the Rockets are competitive. I don't trust the Rockets. Rockets got exposed, but Denver's gonna be number 2, and Houston's gonna be number 3, and they're gonna face the Warriors or whatever. I don't trust Houston. They ain't beating Golden State. Not with that type of offense with Jimmy Butler. Do not be surprised. The winner of that game faces who in the number 2 seed or whoever. It's a possibility. The Minnesota Timberwolves, like if they do win, and if Minnesota do win, and Golden State end up facing during Western Conference, that like they had a pick with Perk, he was saying, I agree with that. But what hurts them, Minnesota's got size, Golden State don't have size. They just got Jimmy Butler with confidence. Now, Denver can play the 6 seeded Warriors right now, first round. They could beat the Warriors. And they exposed them already. Yeah, the Thunder, we'll see how they grow up. See, they play the AFC Clippers. They should beat them. But if they face whoever's the fourth in the Lakers, I got the Thunder. But if Memphis beat the Lakers, that's what it looks like now. The West is like this. This may change. We don't know what the Lakers going to be at the end of the season. These standings are moving up and down. Now, the Eastern standings, you already know Boston's the pick that I'm going with. In the West, it could be anybody. It could be OKC, Denver, whoever. I got Golden State if they beat everybody. I don't trust the Lakers or any other team to win it. I'm just keeping it 1,000 with you. But they have it designed that way. Now I heard this about the Celtics. If they don't win, their ownership is gonna sell that team. I think it done sold once or twice. I'm not sure. I saw it on an article and I said, damn, they're that desperate to win a championship. They're that desperate. I tell you, man, the NBA ratings is up and down. But it was entertaining about these trade talks and signings and all that. It's gonna be a crazy offseason. But the playoffs are gonna be more crazy if you catch my drift. But it goes to show you where we at. A lot of these females, um, they hate the fact that dudes have their own things and dwellings. But the thing is, fellas, you can't trip off them all the time, especially online. They're not real people. Those are dogs on there. They're not. You can't call them women. After you show your body and you've done it for so many years, that's prostitution, man. I'm just gonna keep it real. Ain't nothing positive about what they're doing. You think it is. We all think it is. We're can people be delusional sometimes? Yeah. I'm just saying, do not think nothing of it. Do not get upset over it. But prostitution is a real thing, what they're doing. And online prostitution is dangerous. So, you know what I'm saying? Just be careful. Oh, JJ Reddick, his butt self saying, send a message to Paul after spirit. Man, I don't want to hear what that boy say. Fuck him. I tried nearly every browser out there. These are my top 6. None are Chrome. Here we go. This bullshit. You want to use a web browser, go to Firefox. These idiots out here. I see you the top, and then the combine is crazy. You don't know who's getting it, but the NFL is on fire. At Forever 21, the adrenaline rush was the point. I heard they closing their stores around the U.S. They say it's about 21 Savage, but it don't really matter. But you got people just believing in what they want to believe. But shouts to APTV cooking them dudes, man. Them dudes is clowns, bro. Like I just said, I told you what they were years ago, and then they're gonna remain clowns forever. But it's a lot of dudes that ain't got no substance. But when I notice about these gurus and these podcasts, relationship podcasters, they're clowns. They just don't have no substance or nothing. They just talk about the same old shit and circle jerk and double talk all day. That's all they're gonna do. See, me personally, I laugh at them. I try not to get mad at them. I understand why their method is. The reason they have to do it, they need content. The more content you give these fools, the better. It's like you know what you can get, but you know how to get it. You know what I mean? I don't understand why these dudes don't understand that people are on today they platforms and they talk shit about you and shit like that. I don't get these dudes in general. And they get on these platforms and they want to blame females and women all day. Now I understand women is the vocal point, but there's some good women on certain platforms. I don't hate all women. I just hate the ones that look like women, but they really females, they dogs, and you know they hoes and they ain't got nothing to stand for. And arguing with a hoe doesn't give you points, fellas. It don't. Because all she's gonna do is she got you psychologically and she got you right where she wants you. See, you can't show emotions online. So I'm a man's man online. Offline, same here, consistently. I just don't show no feelings towards nobody like that, especially online. You shouldn't. Because I've been here long enough. That used to be a thing growing up, but now people start acting weird. You start looking at them sideways. So you got to treat people with a grain of salt. I'm not a people person online. Offline, I can be. I know when to turn it off when it need be, but it's just like people ain't gonna respect your kindness every now and then. If you kind of them first, that's how I give off. I'm one of them guys. I'm not one of them guys that you just gonna, you know, be dirty to you. I'm just gonna be all right. But if I have to do something, I do. You face don't care, and if there's an issue, we'll handle it from there. And that's the thing about me. I learn over time. You can't just save everybody. I try to save so many people doing bad stuff, and it's just like it ain't budging. And they try to say, what does they say? Math ain't mathing. It's not mathing. But you look at this stuff, you just like, okay, this is the point I'm trying to make. But I get it. I get they just desperate for some ass and all that. That's all these dudes care about. And when I look at other content creators, I kind of laugh. Alvin appreciates it's funny they diss these guys all the time, but dude, you should have known that the so-called ministry space was a thing. It was really a thing. It's really a thing. But this old nigga I used to listen to, I thought he was something else, but now I just look at him like he's crazy. And it's like saying, "What's going on here?" Oh, you hit me. Okay, that's a good shot. So I think everybody misses the so-called Godfather. I understand people miss him all that. Me personally, I don't. He created this nonsense with these dudes hating females all day. Like that shit, when that became a platform of that. I just want to know when did that become a platform. I just never took that seriously. And now back in the day, Sergeant P he used to go on the so-called women and all that. And then when y'all talk about dating, that's like that. Everybody does that, male or female. But the women, do it the most. These guys date. Y'all date whores anyway. You expect that. They expect you to pay. They don't respect you. That's why that London's Way, wherever, he's a clown too. But Wall's production is your best reaction channel. Talk bad about these dude. He give you some game over here, and he try to tell you about what he used to do and was perfect and not perfect about it. And you have to be honest. You have to be honest with yourself. A lot of these dudes are like that, and most ain't. That's just bottom line. You just got to look at what you can see and what you can get. See online, you can't look at the exterior a lot. You have to look the interior, um, not the exterior, but the interior, the interior second. But you have to look at the interior first, and then the exterior. Let's see what I got. I just want to make this clear. A lot of times when I get online and I talk about these things, I'm speaking it from experience, what I've seen online and offline, and then people in relationships, they talk all this bad stuff. And then when they get online, they want to blast that person. I never, if I'm in a relationship with somebody, if I do the online thing with them, and that's a requirement, I'll keep my mouth shut. It could be married or whatever. I just don't share that with nobody. And then to try to give you advice. I don't listen to weak motherfuckers on here, especially on the internet. Hell no. But yeah, but you know what it is. People get upset. They get on these platforms and they think they're big shot. They're big time. And I stopped listening to them for an hour. You know, oh, I said bus. I don't like when it makes that silly ass noise. Heard that from a distance. Now, the LeBron stuff, let me get into that. Yeah, LeBron, when he first came in, he wasn't real big or whatever, but shouts out the Ticket and the Lions Den basketball community and Ticket and all them covering that. Talking about Shell Sunset, he's juicing, he's doing this and that. The only reason he's saying that because he participated as well. If they have the same doctor, there's a lot of things come out. This is just the beginning. You got Dreamers Pro. Shouts to him for confirming what's going on and what's happening with the Dan Levitar. And I mentioned this earlier. I said Dan Levitar asked this question: why we don't penalize the other stars like we do in baseball? Talking about basketball, it's two different sports. Well, basketball is about an image thing. If you fuck that up, you're out of there. And that's why I see. But when you have people online just spewing nonsense about females all day, just y'all ignorantly call them women. They don't act like women. They don't deserve to be called women because they are what they are. They made those decisions. They're grown too, and that's what's happening. But you got people understanding what's going on. See, the world is a little different than it was, I'll say 10 years ago and 20 years ago. See, 10 to 20 years ago, relationships were up and down. You had your good and bad moments. You didn't hate females right out. Yeah, you hated the system that feminism created. And it also came through what? When I preached this all the time, like 5 years ago to, no, it was 4 years, excuse me, 4 years ago in 2021. And I said, it's called utilitarianism. That's the concept of birthing these systems and things like that. And that's why a lot of things that you see, they're doing it because there's no structure, no order. See, these dudes keep talking about patriarchy, right? Let me tell you something. If they went to a patriarchy country called Japan, right? High suicide rates of all time overseas over there. Why the hell y'all talking about Japan? Huh? Why y'all talking about Japan? That's right. Y'all idolize Japanese shit, and then they don't even respect y'all because y'all ain't do the shit you practice over here in the Western country. See, I thought Japan had the westernized mindset, and apparently they don't. Some do, the majority don't. So, you look at the big picture. You know, I've been on YouTube for probably say almost 20 years, but and it just goes to show you that YouTube has been a staple of my. And then when I look YouTube now, it's just like it ain't what it used to be. And the one thing about me, I'm very transparent what I be saying, but yeah. So that's what I've been doing. But you got videos of people try to hold these females accountable. I said, bro, don't even try to do it, man. They don't want to listen. Nobody got the say because everybody's divided over, what. But that election last year triggered and split a lot of people, and I think that's the whole point of no punt in return. But you see this stuff all the time. But the world doesn't evolve around certain people, and we all believe that. But when you're talking about the relationship fabrics of what's going on, like I'm like, man, and they be making stuff in their head. And I say, I've been in this situation, that situation. I just wish somebody on these podcasts tell them how many hoes you done dealt with, what do they look like, and then we're gonna see how much of a player he is afterwards. And they're not like that. I wish there was a podcast exposing these dudes, especially the ones be online begging for cash apps and all that. It's a combination of a lot of people. It's just like y'all doing the same shit. Y'all haven't learned from 2019. And that's what you see. Hmm. And speaking of instant gratification, speaking of that, it's Instagram. That's why you see the little small retirement. It's crazy, ain't it? But it goes to show you, like, people got the minds of their own. Like, I'm glad this is working on my end because I used to struggle with this stream and how the setups and things like that. It's pretty much like cultured at this point. So I know people are tired of me right now, but salute to the ones that came. But hey, like I said, but you got old boy tripping about his own podcast. I don't be listening to dude, but I know he be tripping right now and then putting topics. He's desperate for views. That's what he does. He did this 4 years ago, and now you look at him talking about I need to do this, I need to do that. But you got all these ads. They're a bunch of scammers. You ask me. A lot of these ads online, I don't really use Pi. They all these scam. I cannot stand scammers. You got a lot of scammers online. I'm just gonna say it. Most of these advertisers are scammers. I'm just gonna keep it real. What's going on, Degenerate Salute? They're they're suckers in real life, and they tell you, "Oh, this is a great way to do it." They're all scammers. You got to pay for nonsense, and then there you are, penniless. You know what I mean? They're gonna get dealt with in the future because I wish there was a way we can just get them up out of here, man. Like they're in the way. Progress. And that's how you look at it. You got some people just be angry over little stuff, and I know there's some big games tonight, two games really to watch. I'm talking about basketball for just a little bit, and then I talked about it like hours ago, but you see, but you look at this and you be like, all right, this is it, and look what's going on. Try not to doze off because I get drained and all that. He said a whole lot of YouTubes are scammers. Yeah, damn near. The ones that got a lot of subscribers more than I do, they use ads. They be scamming people, and that's what's wrong with anything. You can't trust what they be saying online anyway. And Reddit's the biggest one of all. Like Reddit is so trash. I don't even like Reddit like that. Reddit, you can just chill and whatever. I don't have like I have a halfway account, but it ain't worth a damn. Like Reddit is so garbage, bro. They be giving you the worst advice if you're talking about video games or anything. That's the most sorry sight of all time. They got some good stuff, but a lot of Reddit is just bullshit. That's why I got Telegram, man. Shout out to the Epsilon for giving me Telegram. Telegram is balanced. I don't like the other side of Telegram, but I do like the public Telegram. It is very cool. You can interact with certain people, and then there you are. But Telegram is on its way to be like Reddit, and then WhatsApp hurts them all the time because you got a lot of hackers getting exposed. And the Fed said don't use any of those. Well, that's y'all not controlling the dark web. Y'all have no power, but eventually y'all destroy them afterwards. Yeah. Whew. I gotta get myself up. I need to wake up. Acting crazy. But yeah, the shots I have on talking about old boy. Talking about the prophet. He tried to tell him that podcast. I don't know why y'all listen to this shit. I know y'all love that boy. I mean, he alright. I'm neutral. I don't care for him, but it's kind of funny when people clown him and shit. Talking about the same old shit. But it's no beef over here between me and him. Y'all think it's a beef. It's not a beef. I just like clowning this dude. He's hilarious to me. Talking about all this game shit thing. That like, dude, you started this shit and then there you are. And when people start talking bad about you, they know you a halfway simp or whatever, claiming to be player and all this shit. Oh man, but but the gear thing, I still got the same gear. I mean, yeah, I got a mic. Yes, sir, got a mic, like always. But my mic game is still the same. But I don't need no upgrades. I'm good over here. I can get upgrades from whatever. I not this year because I'm my hands is tired this year. It ain't like what it used to be, and things is moving. Buying gears, it's incredible. Yeah, Sweetwater, something else. But you know how that goes. And it just goes to show you what type it is. Like, when I look at their content, they just that's all they talk about is relationship content. Ain't they tired about talking about that? Like they don't even talk about sports content because podcasters is funny. Then you got athletes like Paul George, and I can't believe me and him and Pat McAfee had the same birthday. Now the Pat McAfee shows it's incredible in the sports on ESPN. I watch that all the time. And he interviewed everybody. He interviewed Bill Belichick, Jameson Winston, the guy from Dallas that signed that big contract, that linebacker, wherever he is, that's Nigerian, Ishu or something like that. He had him on there. He had everybody on there. He had Stephanie McMahon. He had the one that said yeet. He had him on there, and Rusty had him, the one the Royal Rumble. Uh Pat something else, man. Like he was on fire. His show, I didn't know it was that entertaining. And I was like, okay. I remember him as a punter, not a wrestler. Wrestler, he was all right, but as a punter, but he's got one of the best sports podcast shows or shows on ESPN all the time. They pay him top dollar. And then he said that he went to Disney World with his family. So, and a lot of people don't know he's from Pittsburgh, even though he resides in Indy because he played with the Colts, but he's from Pittsburgh. Makes a lot of sense. And Degenerate said the Eagles might win the Super Bowl. They might, because as soon as I watched the Super Bowl, Degenerate, and what'd you say? Yeah, they was gonna win it, but that defense was tough. I knew the defense was good all year, but I didn't think they was that good. I mean, last year, and they won it this year because it's gonna be considered last year of next year, this year. It's unbelievable how they won. And Kansas City Chiefs, everybody was betting against Philadelphia. But that goes to show you what Philly was made of. And at that time, Philadelphia was one of them teams that people didn't think they was going to win the Super Bowl, and it was a possibility. It's a possibility. You know what I mean? So I'm just looking at it for what it is. It just goes to show you how crazy the world is. I know he said he let everybody on the panel and all that. Panel. Talking about your boy. They just acting crazy on the internet. I'm just looking at that people just act crazy too. I'm surprised they didn't delete this. Oh my god. I'm surprised. I'm gonna say these dudes, these passport bros, had they been to Colombia? Why do they always go after skinny women? He said, let's read this right here. Yeah, you said that on the last stream I did on the daily hump the daily hump dump when I said that. Yeah. He said what made him say that was that crash that happened a few days before the game. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I remember you said that, and shouts out to you for saying that, man. And then they had commented, and plus, I was watching during that week too, during the week around Friday that Pat McAfee had his show and he was invited as a guest on there. He said he was talking about the crash and he believed these was gonna win even before the game. So he said they were sick with the flu a little bit. They had a light flu until that game started. Boy, and they figured Patrick Mahomes out. They figured him out the whole game. And plus, I got y'all a few minutes. I'll talk to you about 5 or 6 minutes. Now I'll cut this thing short. But anyways, but that shit is wild. And they beat the brakes off of Pat Mahomes. And they ain't been right since. They ain't looking too good this offseason, this coming offseason after the trades and the draft. The draft starts next month. It's gonna be interesting next month. But it goes to show you, man, like the Eagles, they knew what they was doing, man. But in my mind, once I saw the score went up, I said this game is over. This game is somewhat over. It's just somewhat over. Yeah, I watch this. I'm gonna watch this later and get this stream over with. But yeah, I knew the Eagles was a good team, but I said, man, I'm happy too. I'm happy they won the Super Bowl to this day, and it's incredible. There's a lot of things, but yeah, man, it's a beautiful thing that they won. But fellas, y'all like them skinny bitches in Colombia? I like them heavy, thick in between, but I don't like them petite. But damn, y'all desperate, you passport bros. Hell, why don't y'all? I don't know what thicker big women and all that. And like shit. There's some dudes hitting now. Them dudes don't care down there. They say they do. They don't care about them. If I go down there, that's what I'm gonna be messing with, and I attract what skinnies. I don't know. I'm a decent looking guy. Like I ain't saying I'm the prettiest or handsome. I'm saying I'm a decent looking guy. I got some height on me, and I could pull them first, and then the others come without even trying, bro. Like a small conversation, learn a little Spanish down there, and that's it. But I know a little bit of Spanish. I'm not the best fluently, don't by no means, but I'll travel any country. But damn, y'all desperate. It's so much ass in the world, bro. Like they giving it up off the rip. And they do that here in the US, but these dudes are simps. So I try to tell you, they think what they wallet, like Walls Production said, like when you watch those shows that he be reacting to, like London and them other guys, it's so easy than it ever was before. A lot of people try to say it wasn't easy. Yes, it was offline, even before online, before the pandemic, it was so easy. It got to the point these things are desperate, even though they have a cocky confidence right now. The ones that can get them in, that's like these dudes. They think they're cocky, but they have the hardest time to attract each other. See, the people that talk the most online and they post these stupid tweets and stupid podcasts and bullshit content because they ain't got no substance in life. And you got to understand, it's over for them. It's over for them. It's game over. They ain't got no options. They said, losers of options. That goes for both people. And you got some simps trying to co-sign to what the women say. No, you're a simp that reacted to Bobby the Balloon shows, and you're from the West Coast, and you ain't been outside. At least I've been outside multiple times. I see it happen all the time. Even when I was in the workplace, I know how sorry people are. Come on now. Let's get real. Shouts out to Degenerate, APTV, and Leonard. Yeah, salute to y'all, fellas, man. Salute to y'all. All right. This is it. This is the 25th edition, and we'll be back sooner than the next, not the Wednesday, but you'll see the scheduling. So as normal in the spring, but and then it's gonna be a time I ain't gonna take a big break, but might somewhat of a break in between. But I'll come back at you. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll keep it as sweet as night. But I'd see how it goes. We'll do it every other Wednesday, like it's always normal in the spring. And then somewhere, if the situation is right. So with that, until next time, I'm signing off. Shalom to the people of Israel, to the Gentiles. Until next time on Daily Hump Dump. And I'm out.